Hello and welcome to episode 2 of our Stellaris How to Play Advanced Edition. Last episode we showed basically the setup and like the first few steps and some information, and now we want to continue expanding our mega corporation religion throughout the universe. Our outpost in Maval has been completed. We start with the excavation of an archaeological site, and as soon as I think I already have the minerals, we will get this really nice outpost here, the mining outpost that will get us 6 minerals per month. I was contemplating going more into diplomacy. There is a really neat thing that helps you get people friendly faster and increase how far you can go. But since we still only know our Federation members, I think I will wait on this a little bit. Same goes with this one. The neat thing is that you get 1% chance each month for each envoy you send out to improve relationships, to get a favor, which you then can use in the galactic community to kind of force issues, which is really good later on. So you might want to start with this swiftly, but right now we don't have like to build a good stockpile of favors. But right now we don't have any envoy assigned to improve relationships. Because we only have our Federation members. They all already like us. We have contracts with them, which will improve our relationship with them anyway. So we will talk about this as soon as we meet our first new species. So as none of the things here really help us out too much, I'll do what I said before. I'll just start with mercantile. It increases by picking collection range and trade protection, nothing we need right now, but the perks are really good.
Council agenda available.
So confusingly, there is no good way to find out, or like easy way to find out how much trade good we make from our alliance. Our alliance has the commercial pact included. It's a trade union after all. For all the other pacts, for research agreement, for instance, it's easy. You can go to the contact with your ally or your partner, and on the break research agreement it tells you how much they get, how much you get. But since we don't have a commercial pact that we can break, we can't do this here. The closest thing is we can check on how much income we have with our trade and how much trade we produce. We produce 48.9, all right. So let's say 50 as 85 trade value, but we have an income of 47.65, which is half of the total trade value that we have. So our total trade value is 95.3. Gives us a difference of 10.3 trade value, which we get from our 2 commercial pacts. That means that our 2 Federation partners have together 103 trade value, which is not exactly great, given that we already have 85. So, but I mean, it makes sense that we are by far the strongest. So eventually we might want to make sure that the succession type is not going to be rotation, but challenge or strongest, whatever, which we cannot do until we hit level 2 in our Federation level. Then we can go to low centralization, switch over to challenge, and then we will remain president for the time being. You only want this in a federation where you are the strongest, or at best, in optimal case, by far the strongest, then challenge will put you in the present position, and someone has to be significantly stronger than you in order to challenge you here. Yeah, but I mean, as I said, at the moment we can't do really anything about it. We just have to take it as it is. But we make some good money already from our trade. I messed up a little bit by wasting all of our minerals already on the branch office. Now we have nothing left, and already an unemployed citizen, which would be, well, like the best thing now would be to construct another building. Yeah, we don't have the minerals. I have to wait. I will probably go for another research lab. Given that we have a temple, we already are good on Unity. We have okay amenities from the commercial zone, so there's nothing really desperately we need. More research would be good, or if I don't construct another research lab, then it's gonna be a commercial zone. I'll wait until I have the minerals required, and then we'll double check on the situation. Our first excavation is already done. I have the Eurasian storyline again, which will eventually give us the Javorian Pox artifact. I think this is the 3rd out of 3 games in a row that have the same storyline. I hope eventually to see something else than the Javorian Pox, quite frankly. Alright, but we get some minor artifacts and can go in the next excavation. Oh, it's still going on. Okay, great. We can now start a council agenda. We finished Infinite Opportunity, gives us now 10% bonus on happiness. We can choose a new one, and we have plenty good council agendas to choose from. This is part of the Paragon DLC. All the Federation stuff obviously is from the Federation DLC. So we could go for higher purpose, which would give us another bonus on pop happiness, also some spiritualist ethic attraction. I'll say something about this soon. Since we are spiritualists, we would get also unity per priest. That is actually not too bad. Then we have the evolving society, which is a very good generic pick. If you have nothing else better to do, it gives you 10% bonus on influence while it's being prepared, and then 40% bonus when it's launched for 10 years. This is really, really good. We want to get this eventually. There's also the open market, which at the moment is not really useful. 20 or 50% bonus from the commercial pact, since our commercial pacts only are good like for 10 trade value. This is not immensely useful. Open arms, again, we could use that. It increases our trade value, if nothing else. So I will go for the first, at this point, for expand the council, which will give us another council seat or a council position. They are really good usually, so this is probably going to be very useful, and you only can do it twice anyway, so might as well get done with this soon. But after that we will go for either higher purpose or evolving society. Why is that? I mean, this few points of unity during the launch, it doesn't sound like a great thing, but the spiritualist ethic attraction in this game is actually quite important to us. And because let's start expand the council agenda. We have currently 51% of our populations are spiritual, and we want lots of them to be spiritual because of our gospel of the masses. So yeah, the more people in our society are spiritual, the more money we make, essentially. You usually don't want all of your population to become spiritual, even with the gospel of the masses. Otherwise, you might actually shift your government entirely, because populations can only have one ethic, as you can see. But I mean, a few more spiritualists would not hurt, and it would make us more trade value, which is good. We gotta level up and the resources for a building. Since it's a ruler, I'm pretty sure I'm going for charismatic. Yeah, more edicts are usually good. The trouble is, once our ruler gets replaced, we'll have to redo our edicts, but I mean, until then, we'll get let's go with land of opportunity. Why not? Draining a little bit our neighbors, but I mean, it's good for us. It's just good for us. Alright, so we still are doing okay with the amenities. Let's go for research. I want a really good head start on science, and then I just realized it's one of the first games I didn't go for discovery first. Not even sure if I'm going to use discovery at all this time around. Well, we'll see. We'll see, depending on how the game evolves. I just got a tradition while we're still working on a research lab. I was considering picking Federal Trade Fleet, which is not very useful, but it unlocks Marketplace of Better Ideas, which would increase our trade value by 10%. But I'll take the trickle-up economics, which will give us a clerk job per city districts, and our clerks will produce one additional trade value, which will immediately fix our unemployment issue, because we have already 4 districts. I'll skip on the research lab for the time being. We now could consider colonizing this. Oh, it doesn't even need minerals, but I could also use the minerals for for next branch office. I keep it for now because we also need the influence for another starbase, which is nice. The 4 trade value we will collect with our starport. Keep in mind, right, if you activate trade routes, you see, well, you usually see this anyways, but all the systems that you already have, they might have a new resource trade value. Some systems just have this for, I don't know, some natural minerals, materials, whatever, that are just really good for selling. But every planet will any system with a planet will have this, like our home system, 99 trade value. They are worth absolutely nothing unless collected by a starport. Starports collect all the trade resources in the same system, and per each trade hub the collection range is increased by 1. We get another +1 from our well, I think we eventually get +1 from our trade league Well, eventually I think we get +1 from somewhere. I had something else that gives me +1. Just a sec. Ah, yeah, of course. Mercantile gives us +1. So this starport has a range of 2, which means as soon as we have the spaceport here, we'll get 4 trade goods just for having the system. Eventually, we'll have more than one starport. Having a starport in range for new trade goods is not good enough. They also need to be connected to your home system via trade route. We'll see this in a bit. Until now, we don't have to worry about this too much. Also, the whole trade protection thing, I'll talk about this in a little bit when it becomes more relevant. As for now, if you click on the trade route thing, you can even check on this by hovering over the shield. It tells you the protection you have and the amount of piracy you have. Right now we have absolutely no piracy at all in our 2 systems, so everything is nice. The base protection comes from, I think 10 is default base protection, and then stuff from your government and so on and so forth is added on that. Plus we have a starbase. The starbase also defends depending on how much firepower it has, and the range is given by again by modules. If I add a weapon module, any weapon module will do. Missiles, guns, fighters, doesn't matter. It increases the protection range by 1. Right now we only have a protection range of 1 actually. I was concerned it might be 0. Alright. So keep in mind that the protection range and collection range are not the same. Protection range, yeah, it says 1 just because it's a starport. I guess it might have +1 for each size. I'm not 100% sure here at the moment. So this system, those 2 systems are already protected by our starport, adding up to 20 points of trade value that can be moved through these systems, meaning that those 4 points are going to be saved, those 2 points. But as soon as we exceed this trade value or this protection value, then we start building up piracy, which eventually will then reduce the trade value that we get. And it can also spawn hostile fleets. We'll see this probably soon later. As for now, the collection range is the only thing that really matters to us. We just finished our xenolinguistics, which gave us 40 influence, which is nice. That allows us to continue expanding. It costs 75 influence per new system that we get. Pop growth and monthly unity both are great. You want both of them as early as possible. For the time being, I'd say we get enough monthly influence already with all of our spiritualist stuff, so I go for the pop growth, which is kind of important for our building tall thingy, because we only have so few planets on which creatures or population are going to grow. I'm somewhat reluctant to colonize this tundra world because it's relatively small. We found another world which might be more interesting. It's a little bit bigger, continental, which is not great for us, but given that we're lithoids, it might still be good enough. I think I'm going to fly a small detour to see if maybe there's something more interesting over here. The continental world turned out to be not particularly great, so I'm reluctantly considering maybe getting the small tundra world instead. I'll think about it once the survey here is done, and I'll just fly by the neighboring systems to see if there's something more interesting. When it comes to technology, I have not found anything particularly striking. I'm upgrading basically to tier 2 everything right now. Armor, deflectors, we already have the call guns and the fusion reactor. So once the other two technologies are done, I'll upgrade our corvettes. Oh, call gun only, that's interesting. Yeah, no, I'm probably gonna throw in one laser for good measure. Other than that, not much has happened. I mean, this system I'm going to get anyways. It's really, really good. But now I have some influence left over. I'll probably buy the other branch office. I think it's 50, isn't it? So I could get this and then still buy an outpost here. No. Due to fierce competition. What? I don't quite understand now. Oh, they're mega corporation. Ah, for crying out loud. Yeah, that's the reason why you hate other mega corporations. You cannot build branch offices. Oh my goodness, this is really bad. If I'd known this, I might have actually restarted the game. So yeah, let this be a warning to you. Mega corporations are really bad for you. That's why one of the reasons why we also go for militaristic ethics, so that and the mercenary perk, what's it called, civic. The reason is if the galaxy is full of mega corporations, then we can't do the whole branch office thingy, which is annoying because yeah, we will make a bunch of money from their spiritualist population. Oh, now I'm very concerned. They are spiritual. Oh, good. I was concerned. Oh, they're both spiritual, alright. But they're fanatics, which is annoying. That means that they will have more spiritualist population than they have. But only here we can actually do the whole branch office and get more money from them, from our gospel of the masses. So yeah, if it turns out that the universe is full of mega corporations, then we'll not be able to make much from our branch offices. Then the game plane is basically become a militaristic powerhouse and just roll over all of them. Alright, we have expanded our trade empire a little bit, talked about collection range, trade protection, no piracy yet fortunately, about how to expand your federation, not expanding in the sense of getting more members, but rather how leveling up and additional laws work. So I do hope that in the next episode we make some progress in finding new habitable worlds and species to trade with. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I wish you a great day and see you next time. Goodbye.